With our second part of the morning show. We're actually going to be going through the vocal tutorial now of The Greatness of Our God. We got the track up right here, right behind me, and we got Laura's voice right up here too. So say hi, Laura.
Hey guys.
Awesome. And she's back. So what we're going to be doing is we talked this morning just a few moments ago about the importance, Laura had shared actually, about the importance of keeping the voice relaxed and how to maintain a good ability to warm the voice up, to keep it fluid, to keep it relaxed. And so what we wanted to do is to come back at you now for the second part, yay, to go through the actual music of The Greatness of Our God. And Laura has so graciously provided her voice for the example of that song. So you can check out the song, The Greatness of Our God, this track right here by Scott Hussey, over at guidetracks.co. And you can see I got Logic Pro loaded up. I got Laura's screen up, and so she's going to sing a little bit. Sorry. So as we get into the song, you can hear this track right here. It's perfect to practice with for just voice or for guitar or whatever.
Verse 2.
All right, so I'm going to stop it right there and say hello to all of our friends Periscope. What's up, Periscope, Facebook Live? Hey, if you guys would, go ahead and share this out right now. Let everybody know. Swipe and invite. And thanks so much for doing that. And also be sure to hit follow button if you're not already following us by Periscope and Facebook Live. I'm Brandon Dempsey, and this is worshipteamtraining.com. And this is Lara Marriott. So Laura, say hello.
Hi guys.
All right. So Laura, can you take us through real quick and talk a little bit about, for the female perspective, the female voice of entering the song. We're doing this song in the key of A, and it's a low register. So go ahead and take it away. What are some of the first concerns that you have?
Oh, well, you know, with this song, it's a beautiful song, and I was listening to Darlene Check sing it on YouTube. You know, the first one is low, okay? So it's in the low register, and a lot of female voices enjoy being low, okay? So that should be fine for your voice. You want to definitely be relaxed. If you listen to Darlene Check sing it, she sings it very relaxed and as if it's conversational, like a prayer. She's not pushing anything. She's very relaxed in her tone and in her voice. I just want to say, we'll probably go into more detail, but you want to make sure that you're not throaty. Just because it's down low doesn't mean that you should be in the throat and have it like focused right here. You should have vibrations more in your chest and still have your mask working forward. Then you go into the chorus, and the chorus is low, so you're going to start low still because you also want to think about dynamics, okay? You want to build. You don't want to just start off really forceful and big at the beginning. So low gives you an intimacy and starts everyone off in a very relaxed range. Then when you get to verse 2, we take it up an octave, okay? And I'm a soprano, so, and I've trained my voice to understand how to sing through my registers. There are so many female voices that think that they're just altos. There's no way that they could sing it in another, take the octave. But honestly, it's just a matter of learning how to switch into that register, which allows you to have a little bit more range, a little bit more dynamics in your voice. And when you take it up a notch, you need to have more support. Make sure that you're in your head voice. And then in the chorus, you're going to keep it up in that register, in that the octave range, to give it more of a dynamic. So your voice comes out more. You're more of a leader in that way, and people can follow you, and there's more of a climax, and it goes into the bridge. Now, we were practicing, Brandon and I, before we got on, and the bridge got really high. It got up to that E, and like in hymns, they'll go to the E, but that's it for the female voice for the melody, and that's like the top range that we should be in when it comes to singing choruses and worship choruses and things. And it was just getting a little bit too punchy, too shrill, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So Brendan and I decided to go back down the octave. And it's not as low as the first verse and chorus. It's kind of just a little bit higher. So you still have some momentum in the bridge, but it's not so crazy high that everybody's going to drop out and go, what in the world? Like, this person is in the stratosphere. And then maybe we haven't figured out chorus 2 if we would go
Yeah.
up into that high register or go back down. We don't know yet. We
Yeah.
haven't figured that out yet. But you see how we kind of have to break apart a song in order to figure out where do you
Right.
feel most comfortable, because key is super important. You find the key that works really well for your voice, and then also breaking up the registers and stuff like that, doing what's comfortable for you. Because if you are straining and if you are really pushing it, it's going to take people out of worship, and they're going to get distracted because of your voice. So you
Right.
want to make sure that you're not a distraction when you're singing, but you're still authoritative. You're still a leader as you're singing.
Yeah.
So that's the breakdown of the song.
Yeah. Awesome.
The female voice.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and run through it. Let's go through the song. We're going to take it 4 bars before verse 1. Okay?
Okay.
And 1, 2, 3.
Give me eyes to see more of who you are. May what I behold still my anxious heart. Take what I have known and break it all apart. For you, my God, are greater still.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Laura. All right, so that completed our verse 1 section. So talk through that.
Okay. So when you are low like that, you definitely want to be relaxed, okay? Because if I wasn't, give me eyes to see more of who you are.
And you can feel it right there in the chest.
It's throaty and
Yeah.
it's not intimate, okay? You want to build from something. So you want to be intimate and relaxed. But you know what I did? Did you notice that I was kind of smiling and my cheekbones were raised? The reason why is to keep it up, to keep your voice, your tone out of your throat. But the vibrations can still be felt right here. Give me eyes to see more of who you are. And it also defines each word. If I didn't raise my cheekbones and smile, give me eyes to see more of who you are. It's a little bit not as defined. It's fine, but it's nice to just define and overemphasize the words, especially when you're low like that. You don't want to be drowned out. You're still initiating your diaphragm for sure. You're making sure that you are using your breath control properly. So yeah. And then also think about the pickup lines. There's quite a few pickups, and you can get lost with that. And then also, like when you're practicing the song, make notes. Like, I don't know if you can see that.
Yep.
Where I made notes. It's okay. Like, I have a friend. She will take a highlighter. She's amazing. She would take multicolor highlighters and highlight her position, her point, where she's supposed to come in and out. And I mean, awesome. So don't get too afraid that you can't write notes, because actually it's very, very important to do that.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Laura. What I was going to say also is the amount of air that she's using. Do you notice that when she's achieving those lower registers, she's not using a lot of air to complete that? Because if she did, then that would explain more dynamic come out of the voice, and it would strain that sound as she was talking about. It would sound terrible. So by using less air, she's able to give me eyes to see more of who you are. And the smiling part helps because it's a little bit more of a breath intake, but without having to actually inhale more, if that makes sense. So by keeping, like you said, it's a great technique. The cheekbones up and smiling, just a little bit of air will get you there. Let's go ahead and go to the chorus now, and let's see how that chorus lifts off a bit, and then we'll talk about the male voice in just a second. Laura, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. And
And the sky contains no doubt the strength of you are, greatest of our God. And my life to know I'm far from close to all you are, the greatness of our God.
okay. All right, good. Let's talk about that also, because what you did there in that chorus section, again, it wasn't too much. Sorry about that, guys. The chorus section wasn't too much at all. In fact, it was very reflective of what just happened in the verse, and so it sounded natural. There wasn't much that you have to shift or change at all. Laura?
Yeah, you're still raising your cheekbones, you're still thinking high. And there was a few things that happened. One thing that's really important as worship leaders, but not only that, as vocalists, think of the words and what words you want to emphasize. Think about making them clear and not muffled. When we're low in our range, sometimes we have a tendency to muffle our words. And really, when we're worship leaders, it's about the words, right? The truth that comes out of the song. So when I was singing, and no sky contains no doubt, and there was, I think after doubt, I wasn't sure I was going to project the restraints, so I took a breath. I took a light breath to just kind of give it a little bit more of a push. No doubt restrains all you are. So sometimes it's okay to take those quick breaths. It's kind of contemporary as well, just to give it a little bit more of a push on a certain type of a word. I'm definitely more relaxed, but you know what? I am using my diaphragm a lot because I need that core, that solid center to hold me through this chorus, and to keep it out in front and, not dying down because I'm too low. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. And the short breath is good, and just remember when you take those short breaths that it's not going to be something where it's audible on the mic. Make sure when you do it, you had the mic away just a little bit, take a breath, come back in. So, because we don't want to hear a bunch of, inside the sound.
Oh yeah, you know what though? Like when you take a good breath, you're taking it from your diaphragm, and it takes away from that quick, shallow breath. So, and no sky contains, no doubt remains, restrains all you are. I'm taking it from my diaphragm, so you don't hear that, So you don't have to be too concerned about pulling away from your mic if you're not taking a shallow breath. If you're taking a shallow breath, because it's too big, it's too loud.
Yeah. So and that's great. It's the same thing for the male voice. When we're at the sing it in your range, and give me eyes to see more of who you are, right? So we're still in that same range right there. May what I behold still my anxious heart. So it's still, just like Laura, I'm relaxed. I'm not doing a lot to push my voice, but when I get to the chorus, and no sky contains no doubt restrains, for you are the greatness of our God. The same thing, I'm taking those breaths right after the phrases. And no sky contains, no doubt restrains all you are, the greatness of our God. And I'm trying to, again, like this great, using the diaphragm to breathe. And even I'm trying to take what I can through my nose, so that way it helps me to, like what you said was a great point, not to take those shallow breaths. Let's go ahead and do verse 2. So now that we're talking about the male voice, let's get back to the female voice. And what does it mean to sing higher? Because now we hit that octave range in verse 2. What are some things? What are some things that you do, Lara?
Well, okay. So if you have a voice that is, you've trained it, you've figured out how to get to that head voice, then you can take it up an octave. If you have not figured that out yet, you really do not want to go up an octave, like give me grace to see beyond this moment here. I'm in my head voice. If you are still in that chest voice, throaty thing that maybe you have conditioned